What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 32 of the Rise to Glory, here with Gibraltar Apex. And today I've got for you guys another match against Manchester 62 FC. This again is going to be in the Primera Division, just like last episode. If you missed that one, go check it out as always. Since then, we've had quite a lot happen. It's now mid-March. We've played another 10 or so games, I do believe. We've got a few injuries to talk about. Let's have a look at the results first. Last time, of course, we beat Manchester 62 2-0 in the live com. A very nice result there. And since then, we've gone on a pretty darn good run over the last 10 games. 9 wins, 1 draw. 2 of those wins coming in cup competitions, which we are looking to retain this year. All in all, very good stuff. Anyway, let's have a look at the first match. That was against Angels, and we won this one 4-0. 4 different goal scorers, really pleasing. Leon O'Connor getting the man of the match, and Leon here, he's been a very good player for us, this guy. He's still adapting to that left midfielder role, but 9 goals and 8 assists for him from the left-hand side is a superb return. As I mentioned, he's still not 100% convincing when it comes to playing left mid, but I feel like he's getting pretty close to kind of being adept to playing there, and I'm looking forward to him breaking into the Gibraltar national side in not too long, hopefully. Anyway, the next result was not this one. I've clicked the wrong result here. It was a result against Gibraltar Lions. It was a 4-1, another 4 goals scored by us, and to be honest, 4's been a bit of a magic number this year. I don't know how many times we've scored 4 goals in a game, but I'll tell you what, it's quite a few, and this was another game where we did exactly that. Jack Peachman, 30 goals for the season, I do believe, for this guy in all competitions. It's 31 in 31. That is not a bad return by any means. 21 goals so far this season, a 7.82 average rating, really been a vital player for us, and even more so with Ben Connolly out injured. He's got a damaged Achilles tendon. He's out for 3 to 4 months. Which is really bad. I don't know why he's still improving when he's injured. That's a little bit bizarre. I guess it's because he's tailed off because of his injury and gone back up. Answers on a postcard if you know why he's getting better when he's injured. I don't actually know what would cause that. That's bizarre. But yeah, he's out for a little while now. So we've got our new player who's come into the club, whose name I've now forgotten. I think it's Murray. It is. It's John Murray. He's come in, and as you'll see, he had a pretty much an immediate impact, this guy. He joined us from Lincoln Red Imps in January. I talked about that transfer last episode. He hadn't actually appeared for us as of last episode, but since last episode he's become an important player for us, and you'll see that coming forward in just a second. Anyway, the next result was a decent 2-2 draw against St Joseph's. Perhaps a little bit disappointing to come back from behind and be pegged back. Paul Podesta with the goal that ultimately sealed our fate and saw them get a vital point in this game. In terms of where St Joseph's are in the Primera Division, if we just take a look, you can see they are currently 3rd place on 33 points. They're a little bit off the pace, and we are 15 points clear going into this game against Manchester 62 FC. If we were to win this game, we only need 4 points from our remaining 7 games to retain our title. I mean, at the moment, we've only drawn 2 and lost 1. It's been an absolutely amazing season for the club. So anyway, moving on from that result, a few 4-goal thrillers. I'm not going to go through these too much, but Anthony Hernandez, Ben Connolly and Peachman with the goals against Hound Dogs. We then beat Lynx, who we'd drawn against previously 2-2. We did again concede 2 goals against them, and in fact, it was 2 later goals in this game that secured us the win. Leon O'Connor getting that goal in the 74th minute, and then Anthony Hernandez in the 82nd minute getting us a 4th goal to kind of put things beyond doubt. So that was a good result in the end, and we continued scoring goals, as this time we absolutely annihilated Manchester 62 7-0. Amazing result in the Senior League Cup semi-final. John Murray, the new signing, this was his debut. He scored 4 goals on his debut. He's been a very good player for us. In the league, he's got 2 goals and 2 assists in 3 games. In all competitions, 7 goals in 4 matches. Been absolutely amazing, and he really kind of, I guess, welcomed himself to the club well by scoring 4 goals there against Manchester 62. And we continued scoring goals as we beat Glasses United away from home. Another clean sheet here. Peachman with a brace, Murray with another one to add to his tally. And from there, there's been a few narrower wins. We beat Britannia 11. 1-0, Murray getting the goal there. We then beat Gibraltar Lions in the Rock Cup second round. Peachman and Murray grabbing the goals. And then against College Europa, it was Leon O'Connor who got the vital goal in the 72nd minute there for us, which got us another win. So all in all, some really good results here. If we look, we've kept a clean sheet in our last 5 games. I'd love to keep that going. I like going on defensive records in FM. You can see we've had a really odd run of away games. There's been a lot of them, but we're at home now for today's game against Manchester 62. We have got the Rock Cup quarter-final against Lynx. I'm probably not going to live-com that. I think the next video we do will probably be the Rock Cup semi-final if we beat Lynx there, of course, and then we'll have the end-of-season double-header that we did last year as well assuming we get to the Rock Cup final. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. There's still 2 matches to win before that, but given how well we've done this year, I don't think it's in too much doubt, if I'm honest. So anyway, looking at the Premier Division, as I mentioned, we just need 4 points if we win today's game from our remaining 7 games to go through. In terms of what's been going on at the club since the last episode, well, I've kind of done a big overhaul in a few different places. Let's talk about the staff members to begin with. And you'll notice we currently have 12 coaches at our club, 2 scouts and 1 physio. I've got some more people joining in the scouting and physio department. If we look at our training setup now, it's been massively revamped. With all the money that we've had from Europe, that £1.3 million, I wanted to ask the board to try and give us more coaches, give us more money to spend, and they granted that request. A nice request for them to grant as well, because I think with a larger backroom staff, it's going to make our chances of going professional in the next few years a little bit more likely. But looking at the coaching setup here, you can see in most areas we're pretty good. I'm still trying to get in a technical coach to help out with the ball control area, but with the exception of that, to have pretty much 3.5 star in every single area of training, with the exception of the goalkeeping ones, is absolutely amazing. I'm really happy with it. Really delighted the board granted this request as well. And one thing that is worth noting is that with these coaches, I tried to be a little bit cheeky here. So you guys may remember when we had Felix generating the club, I mentioned the fact that the nationality of coaches and staff actually has a bearing on the kind of nationality of your regens that come through. And as we discovered, having Felix come through, who was a Spanish regen, meant that he got a better kind of CA and PA seemingly than the Gibraltarian players. So what I've done here is I've got a load of English guys in, and I hope we might get some English regens. I've also got 5 Spaniards in the coaching setup, and I'm trying to add maybe a few more to help out there. If you actually look at the coaching qualifications, we actually have a really well qualified kind of set of coaches here, which is absolutely delightful. And as you may notice by the date, it's past March, which does mean that we have had Regen Day, and we have had a few nice players come into the squad. I'll start with a few of the under-21s just worth taking a note about this year. First one, Neil Dixon, yet to sign his kind of full-time deal with the club, but he looks like a very, very good centre attacking mid. Bit of a shame he can't play centre mid, and a shame that he doesn't fit any of our formations. I may train him to play out on the wing. I actually think he could be quite a nice little winger for us, potentially. I think that is an area that he could certainly shine in. If we just take a look, he has some good pace, which I like about him. He's not the best going forward. He's not the best at finishing, and kind of his off the ball and composure could do with some work. But if we look here, I mean, he's not a bad player. The dribbling will need work, but I knew that anyway. And I think he could be a very good winger for us. I think that would almost suit him better than trying to force him to play down the middle, particularly when you consider we don't actually have a formation involving midfielders. So I might train him to play down the right mid. We already have Robson there, but at the same time, he's a very good player to have in the club. Another new addition, Tom Elliott here. Very nice defensive midfielder. Good teamwork, good bravery. Could be a really good rock in the midfield. We had quite a lot of centre mids come through in this regen kind of window. You can see his injury proneness and consistency could be pretty big issues for us. But I'm hoping he can, develop in the reserves, play lots of football. Hopefully with his good mentals, develop some technical ability. The fact he's either-footed is nice too. But yeah, one to potentially look out for in the future. They were the kind of pick of the bunch. Terry Dean, I guess, worth a nod too. This guy, a very, very nice centre-back. Good determination, good technicals. Mentals perhaps could do a little bit of work, but he's only 15 years old. He's going to be 16 next month, and he has some potential about him. So those were the regen players, bar one. And I say bar one because he's going to be making his debut today in one of the biggest games in the club's history, and it's this guy, John Garitano, and he is a very nice player. I guess it's Garitano. If we say it really quickly, it sounds good, doesn't it? He's Spanish. He's a very good-looking regen. I mean that in a totally non-homoerotic way. He just looks nice, is basically what I'm saying. He's right-footed, 15 years old, Spanish. Yes, another one of these Spaniards being produced thanks to our staff nationalities. He's a very good player as well. 8 pros, 3 cons. The pros, determined, consistent, suited to football, can improve a lot in the future, and he's fast. I like the look of this guy, I really do. I think he's going to be an absolutely incredible advanced playmaker for us. If we look here, you can see very well rounded off in these areas, really. I'd consider a baseline to be 9 or 10 is kind of what I'm aiming for in the key attributes, the roles I want my players to play in. Perhaps not the player with the most flair in the world, but great teamwork. 13 vision at this level is absolutely valuable. And also, as you can see here, flair is not a particularly important attribute when it comes to playing the playmaker role. It's important, but it's not the be-all or end-all, I guess. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this guy can do. He's 15, he looks absolutely incredible. He signed a 3-year deal with the club, 15 years old, making his debut today. And let's have a look at the squad for today's game. So with the exception of the Connolly injury, which I already talked about, unfortunately he is still out for 3 to 4 months. Adam Roberts is also missing at centre-back, out with a thigh strain for 3 to 4 weeks, which is a little bit of a shame. But with the exception of that, we have a pretty strong squad. I would like to, at this point, kind of exclaim and remind you guys and just state, I actually did my squad numbers properly this year. Some people moan when I auto-number. I'm sorry that I do that. It's just a habit. I don't value the numbers so much, but having set them up this year, kind of liked them all being normal, especially playing a 4-4-2 to kind of have, you know, all the quote-unquote correct numbers was nice. Unfortunately, with injuries, the squad's a little bit of a mess when it comes to the numbers, and Gary Tano is going to need a number as well today. But anyway, let's take a look at the side. In goal, we have Felix, of course. Now, this guy, best player in the club by an absolute mile, 17 years old, driven, well-suited. Contract runs out at the end of next year. Minor problem, doesn't want to sign a new deal. Not good. Not good at all. I'm hoping we can convince him to stay. We did have the same problem with Ben Connolly at the start of the year, but I managed to convince him to sign an extended deal anyway. So Felix, I want you to stay with us if you can, but he might leave of his own accord at the end of his contract. Anyway, at left back we go with Glenn Gilbert, a player who's been here since the beginning. He actually made his 100th appearance for the club last month. Absolutely incredible feat. I'm not sure if he's the first player to do it, but regardless, I mean, looking at these average ratings, he's just stepped up every season. And this year, 10 assists in 18 games. He's been the best player by far. At the left-back position this year, a position that last year he actually lost for a little bit. Anyway, at centre-back for today's game, we go with club captain Guerrero. He has actually played 108 games for the club, so he's ahead of Glenn Gilbert. Our defence has remained largely unchanged, really, through the years. He's a very good player, Guerrero. Pleased that he is here. Then we have Bonavia, one of the younger kind of regens who we got at the club, 19 years old. This is due to the injury to Roberts. He's played 8 games for the club in total. Had a bit of a bad year this year, but I'm hoping he can step up for this big game today. Fairly good in the air, which is what I really like about this guy. Good jumping reach. Anyway, at right back we go with Morgan. He joined us last year, the right back. Fantastic season so far here. 12 assists, 2 man of the matches, a 7.99 average rating in 19 games for him. And becoming a regular as well in the Gibraltar national side, which is very, very nice. Anyway, at right mid we go with Lee Robson. Fantastic right mid. 8 caps for Gibraltar, which is great. A product of our academy. A player who, until last season, really didn't get given a chance at the club. This year he slowed down just a little bit, but he's still performing very, very well. And it's good to have him fit because he has had a few injuries this year. Out on the left we go with Leon O'Connor. I talked about this guy, amazing winger. Just love the explosive pace. Perhaps not so well adapted to the left midfielder role that you'd like to play him in. But regardless, he's been doing a job there for us this year. Been the better of our 2 wingers, really, who have been regularly playing. In the centre of midfield, we have Gary Tano, who I've already talked about, and also Andy Sutton, who of course was genned at the club last year. He's had an average year at the end of last year. This year, though, he's really made this defensive midfielder position his own. He's got 2 assists, 1 player of the match, and 8.06 average rating for him. And then up front for today's game, we go with Peachman, of course, Jack here. Very good player. Not crazily good. I mean, looking at his potential, he might be starting to reach kind of his potential, which is a little bit of a shame, but regardless, 21 goals this year, club top goal scorer with 31 goals in the season. Really pleasing to see that. And also John Murray, our new kind of addition, I guess, in the striker position. 8 goals in 10 for this guy. Excited to see how he can get on. And wow, I mean, I look at this team and it's a pretty good team. It's developed well, and it's nice to have a midfield that is all youngsters really that have been produced at the club. I mean, that is a nice addition. Of course, when we set up this save, just to remind you guys, I did kind of give us fairly good facilities there, established youth recruitment, great youth facilities and adequate training facilities, but at the same time, I think those values still aren't that great, and of course, as we go through with this save, they are going to need upgrading because they will go out of date. Looking at the club icons and favourite personnel here, you can pause it if you want to take a look, but Tristan Sargent and Lee Robson, 2 players making it into the icons kind of column ahead of me, which I find absolutely outrageous. Worth noting, Connolly here and Anthony Hernandez, 2 names who I think it's fair to say deservedly have spots in the team. So anyway, looking at the club profile, we look very good going into today's game. I'm hoping for a good result. You can see Gary Tano has become the hot prospect at the club, which is kind of exciting. It means he probably does have the best potential at the club. And I'm very excited to see how this guy can get on. I'm hoping, as I mentioned, that we can keep on to Felix. Let's get into today's game. It's going to be his debut. What number do we want to give him? We're going to give him the number 10. We're doing it. He's going to have the creative midfielder kind of number. The reason that Peachman doesn't have number 10, because as I mentioned, I do the numbers properly, is because he needs to have Henri's number 14. He just has to have it. He has to be Henri. It's definitely not because that's the number I used to have as a kid when I played football, because of Henri. Anyway, let's just sort out the team talk. All the players absolutely loving it. We are at home for this game. Gary Tano, I'm going to highlight you, son. Where are you? Where is number 10? There he is. Keep an eye on him. Let's see how he gets on today. If we concede immediately, that's not going to be great. Felix, good save. Always get a little bit nervous when there's a replay straight from kickoff. But yeah, let's keep an eye on Gary Tano. He's going to be running that centre mid-roll for us. No pressure on you, son. 15 years old, making his debut today. Glenn Gilbert, fantastic tackle. Now can we break away? Big ball up. Pretty ambitious, didn't reach the target, and now we have to defend again. Ramage, our former man in their midfield, that's worth noting. O'Connor dispossesses him though. Murray with some pace. Can he get forward? He can. Options in the middle. Peachman's going to be there. Peachman's there. And he heads it in, and it's 1-0. First shot of the game. 32nd goal of the season for him. What a goal. What a start. That is absolutely fantastic. We take an early lead here against Manchester 62. That is exactly what we wanted to see. Murray. Nice little ball into the box, a little dink. And Peachman just leaps like an absolute salmon and scores. I mean, what more could you want? The two strikers linking up really, really nicely there. Come on, Gary Tano even. Garito. I don't even know what Garito is. Can we score again? Peachman, ball in the box. Robson, Murray, edge the box. Oh, Gary Tano, he was there. He was there. I feel like Gary Tano is a bit of a mouthful, but we'll get there. Felix with the save. Maybe I should just call him by his first name. I mean, that's what we do for Felix because he's Spanish. Maybe that's how we distinguish the Spaniards. So he's just called John. I mean, that's a little bit of a boring name, really, isn't it? Sorry if you're called John and you're watching this. I don't mean it. I just mean, like, if you're going to nickname a player, you give them a fancy name. You don't just call them John. That was the point I was making. I love the name John. I'd name all my children John. Honest. Right, Peachman, he's through. He shoots. Sabari with the save. Gillingwater Pedersen. Can we just discuss how fantastic that name is for their right back? Gillingwater Pedersen. Wow, I love it. I absolutely love it. Right, can we make something happen here? The new appearance player, Gary Tano. There he is. He's at the edge of the box. Give it to him. Let him go for a long shot. In reality, I just want to win this game. I'm not too bothered about the long shots. Of course, we want to try and maintain our unbeaten run. We've only lost one game this year. Shame that we had to lose it, if I'm honest. But this is going to be one of the trickier games of the year because I was about to say FC United and Manchester, but it's not FC United Manchester, it's Manchester 62. They're a very good team, and Robson scores. Makes it 2-0. We are having a giraffe here. Lee Robson, 2-0, ninth goal of the game. Ninth goal of the season for him. I mentioned the fact that perhaps he's slowed down on the goal scoring just a little bit. Glenn Gilbert picks him out. Amazing ball at the back post. Leaps like a salmon. Not bad for a wide midfielder, and it's in off the post. He couldn't have placed it any better. Keeper with absolutely no chance here. And at half time, it's going to be 2-0 here. And after that early goal, I was thinking it might be another 7-0 like we did to Manchester 62 before. However, we go in 2-0 up. That's not bad. It's not bad. We can do better than that, though. We know we can do better than that. We did it last time we played these guys. We want to humiliate them if we can. That's like the ideal situation. And we'll see how we get on here. I might even switch to the way Takare 4-2-3-1 just to see if that would suit our team a little bit better. That might be something we try out at some point. Although Murray here shoots, he scores. What a goal straight from kickoff. Robson with the assist. He's got a goal and an assist now. John Murray, 8th goal of the season for him. Straight from kickoff. It wasn't a pointless highlight, boys. I can't believe it. But that's a lovely little bit of play. Robson threads through the ball. Murray. Nice finish here, of course, joined us on a free from Lincoln Red Imps, the youngster. Wasn't really getting a load of goals for them, but I brought him into our team. He was being called up for the Gibraltar national side at 16. Kind of caught my eye, I guess, for those reasons. And, well, he's been performing very well, as I mentioned. He got 4 goals on his debut. I think that was against Manchester 62. He might just love scoring against them. O'Connor, he gets a goal for his name. 10th goal of the season for him. Is that every single one of our kind of more attacking players having scored now? I think that's both strikers have scored and both wide midfielders. I mean, it's not bad, is it? O'Connor, nice finish, my son. The 17-year-old really adapted well to life in this team, as has, to be fair, Andy Sutton. Oh, Guerrero. Okay, now the centre-backs are in on the action. It's 5-0. We might get 7 here. 3 goals in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Ball whipped in this time. Stand is packed and absolutely loving it. And it's Garitano. No, it's not. I've got him highlighted. It's Garrido. Or Guerrero. Oh, gosh. Where am I getting the name Garrito from? Where has that come from? Answers on a postcard. Let me know. I'm going crazy. Right, let's see what we can do here. Can we defend? Can we defend? That's the question. We want to keep the clean sheets going. Well, we've lost our clean sheet. Oh dear. We've wet the bed. Get it in the washing machine. We need to get it clean again. It's not good. Oh, it's not good, is it? Lancaster with the goal there. Questionable goalkeeping by Felix, I feel like. Positioning wasn't quite there, although, to be fair, it was a nicely worked goal and it isn't going to hurt us too badly. But anyway, there's not long left in this game. Let's make some changes. I'm going to bring on Tristan Sargent for Sutton, I think. Sutton, he's not had the best game. I mean, I say he's not had the best game. A 7.3 isn't bad. But, I mean, it's not standout, is it? Right, let's just make a double change in the defence as well. Get on some fresh legs. I mean, surely we can't concede 4 more now to lose the lead here. That can't happen. So, we'll make the changes there. Going for the triple change. I mean, we might concede here. Good clearance. Now can we counter? Peachman up to Murray. He looked offside. He's not offside. Can he bury it? He can bury it. What a counter-attack straight from the corner. 9th goal of the season for him. I swear it said 9th goal before unless it said 8th. I really can't read. It's a good goal. It's 6-1 now. Murray with his 2nd goal of the game. Breaking through. Breaking free. Places the ball and, well, the keeper is nowhere to be seen there. That is questionable goalkeeping, to say the least. I mean, to be fair, most goals in FM you can question the goalkeeping on, but particularly in Gibraltar, particularly in the lower leagues, you just see some weird stuff. We're on the attack here. O'Connor, can he score? No, he can't. Sabari, I think it hit the post there. That was a chance for him to get his 2nd goal of the game. And unfortunately for us, he's just not found the target, has he? The keeper's parried it. Right, Norton bringing the ball forward. Goes to Mawson here. Can we defend? No, we cannot. They've hit the post. Get it out, boys. Dudley hitting the woodwork for them. They're number 32. Actually, looking at the stats of this game, we've been very clinical. 6-1 is the score. We've only had 4 clear-cut chances. We have been by far and away the better team in this game. And we've really made it show on the score sheet. And Robson with a chance to get his 2nd of the game. This could have been a lot more. This could have been, well, 8 or 9 you'd be saying if you're being honest. But at the end of the day, it is going to finish here 6-1, I do believe. A very, very good result. As I said, Manchester 62, 2nd in the division. That really gives you an idea of just how good we've been in the league this year. How far and away we are, I guess, ahead of the other Gibraltar clubs. And Murray getting the Man of the Match award there, a 9.5 rating. But in truth, it was a fantastic team performance. And that position really puts us in an absolutely amazing position to go on and try and win the league. That is 6 games, 1 in a row. You'd say the league is probably wrapped up now. I mean, it's going to take the worst collapse I've ever done in FM to lose it. That 49 goal difference, a pretty decent achievement, if I might say so myself. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap things up from me. Hopefully you've enjoyed as always. If you have, smash the like button, leave a comment. If you're new here, of course, subscribe. And yeah, that's going to wrap up everything from me. Thank you so much for watching. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.